This is the Oppo Reno 10x zoom edition, and its packaging is near identical to the Oppo Reno we covered earlier, barring the 10x zoom branding. It's quite an elegant looking box and the phone specifications are outlined at the back. So once the plastic covering is off, lifting the snug fitting lid, you get a sleeve with the mandatory paperwork, and underneath is the phone itself, which we'll get to in just a bit. Digging deeper, you get this nice and premium feeling case, which I actually like a lot, and then the accessories. There's the VOOC flash charging brick, a USB-A to USB-C charging cable, and then under that, a little SIM tool. You also get a pair of premium feeling and looking earphones, which are powered by USB-C because the phone doesn't have a 3.5mm headphone jack, and you get a few rubber tips to adjust their fitting according to your ear size. But back to the phone, my first impression is that it's a bit on the heavier side. We've got the ocean green color variant here, which comes with 8GB of RAM and 256GB of storage. So we're just gonna boot up the phone, and while that happens, we'll look around to see that there's no extra buttons on the phone. You get the normal volume rocker as well as the power button, and at the bottom there's the SIM tray, the USB-C charging port, and one of the two speakers on the phone. One of the highlights of the phone though is really the phone's Gorilla Glass 6 protected bezel-less 6.6-inch Full HD Plus AMOLED display, and that pivot hinge that houses the front 16-megapixel front camera. Because of the display, multimedia consumption is really satisfying, combined with some good dual stereo speakers as well. In all honesty, the phone has a unique design, and because of its curves, it fits well in the hand and seems a bit smaller than your average 6.6-inch design. And you can see how much attention to detail's gone into the design, with the O dot that keeps the camera slightly raised to protect the lens. There's also the optical in-screen fingerprint scanner, which is comfortable to use and works just as you'd expect, and is pretty quick too. If there's one omission on the Oppo Reno 10x zoom, there's no official IP water or dust resistance. But the phone does give you a true flagship-like experience in terms of raw power, with Qualcomm Snapdragon 855 octa-core processor and of course 8GB of RAM. But in spite of the phone running Android 9 Pie, ColorOS 6 is something that you'll have to get used to because it's quite a bit different from your traditional stock Android. But in all honesty, everything is just so smooth on the phone, and I think it'll be interesting to see how the phone performs in the real world when we put it up against other phones in our traditional speed tests. Now, the other big difference between the phone and the regular Oppo Reno is the camera setup. With this, you get a triple camera configuration with a 48MP, a periscope 13MP, and an 8MP ultra-wide lens. Having just unboxed the phone, I still have to play around with how the cameras perform, especially the wide-angle lens and the lossless 10x zoom capability. I'll have some camera comparisons on this phone coming up shortly, so stay tuned. The other thing I'm excited about is the 4065mAh battery, which should give me some impressive battery backup, and that's also something I'm looking forward to testing. But for now, I think I'll leave you with that. So far, the Oppo Reno 10x zoom is impressive, and I expect it to be even better than the regular Oppo Reno, which I found to be a solid device too. As always, thanks for watching this video. Let us know what you think about the phone down in the comments, and if you want to see something specific, leave that in the comments too. Don't forget to subscribe while you're at it. This was Vaibhav, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios!